The sun rose over the Earth Defense Force headquarters in Seoul. Captain Kim Tae-ho looked at himself one last time in the mirror. His dark uniform fit perfectly. Every badge and medal was in the right place. Today was not just any day. Today humans would officially meet aliens for the first time. "Captain Kim, they will arrive in 10 minutes, said Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon through the door. "Thank you, Lieutenant. I will be right there," Tae-ho replied. He took a deep breath. The aliens had been watching Earth for years. They thought humans didn't know, but Earth's secret space program had spotted their ships long ago. Humans had been getting ready for this day. Tae-ho walked out to the landing area where a team of 20 soldiers stood in perfect lines. The sky was clear blue, a perfect day for first contact. In the distance, a silver dot grew larger. The alien ship was coming. "Stand ready," Tae-ho said to his team. They all straightened their backs. The alien ship was nothing like human ships. It was smooth like liquid metal and made no sound as it landed. A door opened and 5 aliens walked out. They looked almost human, but their skin had a blue tint and their eyes were too large. 2 aliens walked ahead of the others. They wore fancy uniforms with many strange symbols. Tae-ho knew these were the leaders, Commander Vex of the Arturian Empire and Admiral Zahn of the Proxima Coalition. Earth spies had learned their names and ranks months ago. "Welcome to Earth," Tae-ho said with a small bow. "I am Captain Kim Tae-ho of the Earth Defense Force." Commander Vex stepped forward. He was tall and thin with a face that showed no emotion. "We thank you for your welcome," Vex said. His voice sounded flat, like he was talking to a child. "After many years of watching your planet, the Galactic Council has decided your species is ready to join our community. Though your species is young, we believe you may contribute adequately." Tae-ho noticed the pause, the way Vex looked down at him. These aliens thought they were better than humans. He kept his face calm. "Let them think that." "We are honored," Tae-ho replied. "We have prepared a welcome dinner for tonight. Until then, we can show you our base." Admiral Zahn nodded. "We are curious to see your military capabilities. Our data suggests your technology is basic." As they walked through the base, the aliens looked at everything with small smiles, as if they were adults watching children play with toys. They stopped at the training area where soldiers were exercising. "This is where our new recruits train," Tae-ho explained. "Interesting," said Vex, clearly not interested. "Our soldiers train in virtual simulations. Physical exercise is old-fashioned." Tae-ho just smiled. The aliens had no idea what humans could do. That evening, a large dinner was held in the main hall. Human leaders sat with alien delegates at long tables filled with food from around the world. The aliens ate little, sampling each dish with careful bites. After dinner, some of the junior alien officers began talking with the human soldiers. One alien officer, Grell, was louder than the others, especially after drinking some earth wine. "Your planet has high gravity," Grell said. "That must make you slow and tired all the time." Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon, who was sitting nearby, looked up. "Actually, we find it normal. Would you like to see how we train?" The alien laughed. "Sure, show me your primitive exercises." Tae-ho watched as Ji-hoon led Grell and a small group to a weight rack in the corner of the room. Ji-hoon pointed to a large weight bar. "This is what our new recruits lift," he said. Grell tried to pick it up but could barely move it. "This is very heavy in this gravity," he said, trying to hide his surprise. Ji-hoon nodded and then, without any sign of effort, lifted the weight over his head 10 times. The aliens watching fell silent. "That's impossible," one whispered. "The gravity here plus that weight." Across the room, Tae-ho saw Admiral Zahn watching with narrow eyes. The Admiral came over, his steps careful in Earth's gravity. "Your lieutenant's physical capabilities exceed our data on human biology," Zahn said quietly to Tae-ho. "How is this possible?" Tae-ho smiled. "We train hard, Admiral." "On this planet. Alone?" Zahn asked. "That would be telling," Tae-ho replied with a small smile. Later that night, after the aliens had gone back to their ship, Tae-ho met with General Kang Sung-hoon in the secure underground meeting room. "How did it go?" asked the general. Just as we expected, Taiho said. They think we're weak and primitive. They have no idea about our real capabilities. General Kang nodded. Good. Did they ask about our off-world bases? Admiral Zahn seemed curious about our training, but I didn't tell him anything, Taiho replied. They don't know about Venus or any of the others. Keep it that way for now, the general said. Earth has been preparing for this meeting for 20 years. We know more about them than they think, and they know less about us than they believe. Ondao. A screen behind the general, a map showed the solar system. Small dots marked human bases on Venus, Mercury, Mars, and even some of Jupiter's and Saturn's moons. Places no alien species could survive without special equipment. Places where humans trained every day. The next morning, Taiho met the alien delegation again for an official tour of Seoul. As they walked through the city, Commander Vex asked many questions about Earth's defenses and technology. Taiho gave simple answers, never revealing too much. During lunch at a traditional Korean restaurant, Officer Grell was still upset about the weightlifting from the night before. Your people seem unusually strong, Grell said to Taiho, but strength means little against advanced weapons. Perhaps, Taiho replied. But we find physical training important. It builds not just muscle, but also will. Admiral Zahn, who had been quiet, suddenly spoke. Your gravity is 1.3 times stronger than our homeworld, yet you move as if it's nothing. Do all humans possess such strength? Most of us, Taiho said. Some more than others. Just then, a young server carrying a heavy tray of food tripped near their table. Without thinking, Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon moved with amazing speed, catching both the server and the tray before anything hit the ground. The movement was so fast that the aliens blinked in surprise. Quick reflexes, Admiral Zahn noted, his voice. Now serious. Just good training, Taiho said. But he could see in the aliens' eyes that they were starting to wonder. They were beginning to realize that humans were not what they seemed. The Admiral and Commander exchanged a look that Taiho recognized, the first hint of worry. That afternoon, as the alien ship prepared to leave, Commander Vex gave Taiho a small device. This will allow us to communicate, he said. The Galactic Council will be in touch soon about Earth joining our alliance. Taiho nodded. We look forward to it. As the ship rose into the sky, Taiho watched with a small smile. The aliens thought they were welcoming a weak, young species into their galactic community. They had no idea that they had just met their match, or perhaps their better. And they certainly had no idea about the training facilities humans had built on planets that would kill any other species instantly. But they would learn. Soon. 2 months had passed since the aliens first visited Earth. The Earth Defense Force headquarters was busy with new plans. Intelligence Officer Lee Ji-won sat in a dark room filled with screens. Her job was to listen to alien messages. The Earth's secret space program had built special tools to hear what the aliens said to each other. Ji-won took a sip of her coffee and adjusted her headset. Suddenly she sat up straight. The aliens were talking about something important. Sir, I need to speak with General Kang right away, she said into her communicator. 30 minutes later, Ji-won stood in the big meeting room. General Kang Sung-hoon sat at the head of the table. Captain Kim Taiho was there too. What did you find? Asked the general. The Galactic Council is worried about us, Ji-won said. They think humans are too strong for a young species. They have sent spies to find out why. Taiho leaned forward. Do they know about our training bases? Ji-won nodded. They found the Venus base. The room went quiet. The base on Venus was one of Earth's biggest secrets. The planet was hot enough to melt lead. The air was full of acid. No species should be able to live there. But humans had built a training center there 20 years ago. General Kang did not look worried. Just Venus? Let them look. It's the least impressive of our facilities. What should we do? Asked Taiho. Nothing, said the general with a small smile. Let them worry. 3 days later, a message came from the Galactic Council. They wanted an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. Captain Kim Tae-ho and Ambassador Choi Mina went to meet them at the neutral space station orbiting the moon. Commander Vex and Admiral Zahn were already there when they arrived. Both aliens looked tense. "Thank you for coming," said Vex, trying to sound calm. "We have some questions about recent discoveries." "Of course," smiled Ambassador Choi. "We are happy to answer." Admiral Zahn put a picture on the table. It showed the human base on Venus. "Would you explain this?" he asked. Taiho looked at the picture and nodded. "That's our Venus training facility." "Impossible," sputtered Commander Vex. "No species can survive on Venus. The heat would cook you alive. The pressure would crush you. The acid in the air would burn your lungs." "It is quite hot," admitted Taiho. "But it's a good place for basic training." "Basic training?" Admiral Zahn's voice went up. "Our best soldiers need special suits to visit Venus for just 1 hour." Ambassador Choi nodded as if this was normal. "Our soldiers train there for a month before moving to more challenging environments." The aliens stared at them. "More challenging?" Commander Vex whispered. "What could be more challenging than Venus?" Taiho and Ambassador Choi just smiled. Back on Earth, Dr. Han Junho, the head scientist for the space program, was giving a tour to some new recruits. "The aliens evolved on planets with perfect weather," he explained as they walked through the lab. "No big storms, no sudden changes in temperature, very little gravity difference from place to place." He pointed to a model of Earth. "Our planet taught us to adapt. One day it's hot, the next day it's cold. We have deserts and icelands. Our large moon creates tides and affects our gravity. We live with changing air pressure and solar radiation." A young recruit raised her hand. "Is that why we can train on Venus?" "Exactly," said Dr. Han. "Our bodies learned to adapt. When we first built the Venus base, only our best soldiers could go there. Now it's where beginners train." "Where do the advanced soldiers train?" asked another recruit. Dr. Han smiled. "You'll find out when you're ready." That night, in the Galactic, flagship orbiting Mars, an emergency meeting was taking place. Commander Vex stood before a screen showing the Venus base. "These humans have built a training facility on a planet that would kill any of us in minutes," he said to the room full of alien officers. "And they call it basic training." Admiral Zahn nodded. "Our science team says it's not possible. No species should be able to adapt to such conditions. The humans must have some secret technology." "We checked," said an alien scientist. "They use some protective gear, but their bodies are doing most of the work. They have changed themselves somehow." "Could they be artificial beings?" asked a general from the back. "No," said the scientist. "They are fully organic. Just different from any species we've met." Admiral Zahn looked worried. "If Venus is their idea of basic training, where do their best soldiers train?" The room went quiet. No one had an answer. Early the next morning, Taiho was called to General Kang's office. The general was looking at a screen showing a satellite image. "The aliens have increased their spy activities," said the general. "They're watching all the planets in our system now." "Will they find the Mercury base?" asked Taiho. "Probably," said the general. "But that's fine. We want them to find it." Taiho was surprised. "We do?" General Kang nodded. "The president and world leaders have decided on a new plan. We will let the aliens discover our bases one by one. First Venus, then Mercury, then the others." "Why?" asked Taiho. "For 20 years we've been hiding our strength," said the general. "But now it's time to show it, not all at once, but slowly. Let them worry about what else we can do." Taiho thought about this. "And what about the Jupiter Moon's base? And Neptune?" "Those will be our surprises for later," said the general with a smile. A week later, Taiho met with Li Jiwan in the intelligence room. She had new information. "They've spotted unusual heat signatures on Mercury," she said. "They'll find our base there within days." Mercury was even more extreme than Venus. The side facing the sun was hot enough to melt metal. The dark side was cold enough to freeze air solid. Day and night on Mercury would kill most species instantly. "Good," said Taiho. "How are the aliens reacting to the Venus discovery?" "They're panicking," said Jiwan with a smile. They've raised Earth's threat level 3 times in the past week. Some of their scientists don't believe humans are really training on Venus. They think it must be robots or a trick. Wait until they see the Mercury training videos, said Taiho. Jiwan laughed. Should I arrange to leak some of those? Not yet, said Taiho. Let's give them time to find the base on their own. It will scare them more that way. As they talked, on the other side of the solar system, a team of human soldiers was running drills on Io, a moon of Jupiter covered in active volcanoes. The gravity was crushing, the air was toxic, and the ground frequently exploded with lava. The soldiers called it a good workout. The aliens had no idea what they were about to discover, and when they did, nothing in the galaxy would be the same. The galactic flagship's meeting room was silent. On the large screen, images of Mercury showed a human base built into the side of a crater. Commander Vex and Admiral Zahn stared at the pictures in disbelief. This cannot be real, said Commander Vex, his voice shaking. Mercury has no atmosphere. The sunny side is hot enough to melt metal. The dark side is colder than deep space. Admiral Zahn pointed to a part of the image. Look there. Those are humans in training gear, not full spacesuits. They're running drills on the planet's surface. Another alien officer spoke up. Our scientists confirm these images are real. The humans have built a training base on Mercury. They are exercising in conditions that would kill any of our soldiers instantly. Commander Vex hit the table with his fist. These humans are training on a planet that experiences temperature swings of over 600 degrees, with no atmospheric protection from cosmic radiation. Our biology experts claim this should be impossible. There's more, said a junior officer nervously. We've detected unusual energy readings from Jupiter's moon, Io. The room went completely quiet. Io, whispered Admiral Zahn. That moon is covered in active volcanoes. The gravity would crush most species. The radiation from Jupiter would kill any unprotected life form. Commander Vex turned to the ship's main computer. Computer, show me all planets and moons in this solar system where humans might be able to survive. The computer displayed a list. Every planet and major moon in the system was marked as lethal to all known species. Then how are they doing this? Asked Vex. No one had an answer. On Earth, Dr. Yoon Hye-jin was giving a presentation to the United Earth Council. As the leading expert on alien biology, her job was to explain why humans could do things other species could not. The aliens come from worlds with perfect conditions, she explained, showing pictures of beautiful alien home planets. Their gravity never changes. Their weather is always mild. They never experience extreme heat or cold. She switched to a picture of Earth. Our planet is different. We have deserts where the temperature can go from boiling hot to freezing cold in one day. We have oceans with crushing pressure. We have mountains with thin air. Our gravity changes, slightly depending on where we stand on the planet. Because of our large moon, the council members nodded. Every day on Earth is a survival test, Dr. Yoon continued. Over thousands of years, our bodies learned to adapt quickly to new conditions. The aliens never had to adapt. Their bodies stayed the same. Council chairwoman, Park Sora raised her hand. So when we train on Venus or Mercury, to us it's just another extreme environment to adapt to, said Dr. Yoon. To them it's impossible. And what about our special soldiers? Asked another council member. The ones who train on Jupiter's moons? Dr. Yoon smiled. They are adapting to conditions that the aliens cannot even imagine surviving. If the aliens are scared now, wait until they learn about Neptune. At the Earth Defense Force Training Center, Captain Kim Tae-ho was watching new recruits practice in the gravity chamber. The room could make gravity 5 times stronger than Earth's normal pull. The recruits were struggling to move, but they were doing it. Lieutenant Park Ji-hoon walked in and saluted. Captain, you're needed in communications. We've received a message from the Galactic Council. Tae-ho nodded and followed Ji-hoon to the comm room. On the screen was Admiral Zahn. Captain Kim, said the Admiral, trying to sound calm, we have discovered your base on Mercury. Oh, said Tae-ho, as if this was not important news. Yes, that's one of our intermediate training facilities. Intermediate? The Admiral's voice cracked. Mercury is intermediate? Of course, said Tejo. After Venus, our soldiers need a new challenge. Admiral Zahn's face showed a mix of fear and disbelief. Captain, no species in the known galaxy can survive on Mercury without full protection suits. Yet our images show your soldiers training there in what appears to be light gear. Tejo shrugged. We find that heavy suits slow down the training. There was a long pause before the Admiral spoke again. The Galactic Council requests a meeting with your leaders. This is unprecedented. I'll pass along your request, said Tejo. After the screen went dark, he turned to Lieutenant Park. They found Mercury faster than we expected. Should we be worried? Asked Park. No, said Tejo with a small smile. This is all part of the plan. On the Galactic flagship, a special meeting of all alien military leaders was taking place. Representatives from 20 different alien species sat around a large table, all looking worried. Humans are not what we thought, said Commander Vex. They can survive and train in environments that would kill any of us immediately. Could they be a threat? Asked a general from a distant star system. Admiral Zahn nodded slowly. Any species that can adapt to such extreme conditions must be considered a potential threat. A science officer stood up. We've analyzed their biology. Humans have unusual abilities. Their bodies can adjust to different pressures, temperatures, and gravity levels. They can repair damaged cells quickly. They can change how their blood carries oxygen. How did they develop these abilities? Asked another leader. Their home planet, said the science officer. Earth has more extreme conditions than any inhabited planet we know. Humans evolved to survive these changing conditions. Commander Vex looked at the star map on the wall. For thousands of years, we've classified planets like Venus and Mercury as death worlds. No intelligent life could evolve there, we thought. But humans didn't evolve on those worlds. They evolved on Earth and then adapted to even worse conditions. The room was silent as everyone considered what this meant. If their regular soldiers train on Venus and Mercury, said an admiral from the outer worlds, where do their elite forces train? Back on Earth, General Kang was meeting with a special team of soldiers. These men and women were different from regular troops. They were taller, stronger, with eyes that seemed to glow slightly in the dim light. Team Alpha, your next mission is confirmed, said the general. You'll be heading to Neptune next week for the advanced training program. The team's leader, Commander Yoon Minsu, nodded. My team is ready, sir. The gravity and cold will be a good challenge. Neptune was one of the most extreme places in the solar system. The pressure would crush a normal body. The cold was beyond freezing. Storms with winds of 2,000 kilometers per hour raged across its surface. Remember, this mission is no longer completely secret, said General Kang. We want the aliens to detect your presence there, but not right away. Train for 2 weeks before, making yourselves visible. You want them to find us, sir? Asked Yoon. Yes, said the general. Let's show them what humans can really do. After the team left, General Kong looked at a classified file on his desk. It contained plans for a training base on Pluto, where the conditions were even more extreme than Neptune. That would be the next surprise for the aliens. That night, Dr. Yoon Hyejin couldn't sleep. The data from the alien biological scans worried her. She pulled up the reports on her computer and studied them again. The aliens were fundamentally different from humans. They had evolved on perfect worlds and never needed to adapt. Their bodies were specialized for specific conditions and couldn't change. Humans, on the other hand, were built to survive change. Earth had forced humanity to become flexible, to adapt to new challenges. They never had a chance, she whispered to herself. They never learned to endure. She closed the file and looked out her window at the night sky. Somewhere up there, alien generals were panicking as they realized the truth. The galaxy was full of worlds they could never visit. Worlds where humans trained like it was just another day. The balance of power was shifting, and it would never be the same again. The alarm blared throughout the galactic flagship. Admiral Zahn rushed to the control room, still putting on his uniform jacket. Report, he demanded. An officer turned from his screen, his face pale. Sir, one of our spy drones has sent back footage from Neptune. Neptune? Zahn frowned. That's the 8th planet. Nothing can live there. You need to see this, sir, the officer said quietly. On the main screen, grainy footage appeared. Through Neptune's swirling blue clouds, a base could be seen built into the side of an ice cliff. Outside the base, figures moved in what looked like simple suits. They were lifting heavy objects and running across the frozen ground. Magnify, ordered Zahn. The image zoomed in. The figures were clearly human. They wore thin protective gear, nothing like the full environmental suits that other species would need. One human was leading the others in what appeared to be fighting practice. This is Sergeant Han Jun, said the intelligence officer, reading from a datapad. He leads training on Neptune. Admiral Zahn sank into a chair. Neptune has crushing gravity. The temperature is nearly absolute zero. There are methane storms with winds that could tear apart a ship. Yes, sir, said the officer. And humans are training there. Zahn stared at the screen for a long moment. Call Commander Vex. Tell him to bring everyone. This is worse than we thought. Within hours, the Galactic Council chamber was full. Every member species had sent representatives. Commander Vex stood at the center, showing the Neptune footage on the large screens around the room. These humans are not merely training on Venus or Mercury, Vex said, his voice tight with stress. They have established bases throughout their solar system, on worlds that would kill any of our species instantly. Murmurs of fear spread through the room. How can they survive such conditions? Asked a representative from a distant water world. Their biology is different, explained Admiral Sun. They evolved on a world with constantly changing conditions. Their bodies can adapt to extremes that would kill us. A military leader from a desert planet stood up. What does this mean for the balance of power? If humans can go places we cannot, they have an advantage. A big advantage, said Vex, If they can survive on Neptune naturally, what happens when they develop advanced armor like ours? They would be unstoppable. The room erupted in worried voices. Some called for immediate action against Earth. Others wanted to make special deals. With humans. Silence, shouted the head counselor. We must think carefully. Humans are still new to space travel. Their technology is behind ours. But their biology gives them abilities we don't have. We need more information before we decide what to do. On Earth, Intelligence Officer Lee Jiwan was reviewing the latest intercepted messages from the Galactic Council. They've found Neptune, she told Captain Kim Tae-ho. They're having an emergency meeting right now. Tae-ho nodded. How are they? Reacting? They're scared, said Jiwan. Some want to attack us before we become too strong. Others want to make us allies, but they all agree that humans are dangerous. Good, said Tae-ho. Fear will make them respect us. When they first came here, they thought we were weak. Now they know better. Jiwan looked at her screen again. There's more. They're sending a special team to scan all the planets and moons in our system. They want to find all our bases. Tae-ho smiled. Let them look. Each discovery will scare them more. At the main Earth Defense Force base, Dr. Yoon Hye-jin was working with the Special Forces team that had just returned from Neptune. The soldiers sat in the medical bay as she checked their health. Your body temperature is normal, she told Commander Yoon Min-soo, and your cell repair rate is excellent. No damage from the cold or pressure. It wasn't so bad, said Min-soo. The storms were the hardest part, but we adapted. Dr. Yoon made notes on her tablet. The aliens cannot understand how you do this. Their bodies don't adapt like ours. Is that why they're so worried? Asked Min-soo. Yes, said Dr. Yoon. In their experience, species stay on planets where they evolved. They use technology to visit other places, but they need full protection. You are training on Neptune with minimal gear. To them, it's like magic. Commander Yoon looked out the window at the blue sky. But for us, it's just good training. The Galactic Council's special scanning team arrived in the solar system 3 days later. Their advanced ship moved quickly, checking each planet and moon. They found human bases on Venus, Mercury, Mars, several moons of Jupiter, and Neptune. But the biggest shock came when they scanned the sun. "This can't be right," said the team leader, checking the readings again. "The scanner shows a small station orbiting very close to the star." "That's impossible," said his assistant. "Nothing can survive that close to a star. The heat would melt any material we know." They adjusted the scanners and looked again. The readings were the same. A small station was orbiting the sun at a distance that should be impossible. "Are there life forms on it?" asked the leader. The assistant checked another screen. "Yes, human life signs, just 2 of them." Both aliens stared at the screen in disbelief. Back at the galactic flagship, Commander Vex received the scanning team's report. He read it 3 times, not believing what he saw. "Humans have built observation posts near their sun?" he asked the messenger. "Yes, sir. With human crew members inside," replied the messenger. Vex felt a chill despite the warm room. "How is this possible? The heat and radiation at that distance would kill any life form we know. The team thinks the humans have special protection suits," said the messenger. "But even our best technology couldn't keep a being alive that close to a star." Commander Vex called an immediate meeting with Admiral Zahn and the other military leaders. "We need to change our plans," he told them when they gathered. "Humans are more dangerous than we thought. They can go places that are impossible for us. They can survive conditions that would kill our best soldiers even with our best technology." "What do you suggest?" asked Admiral Zahn. "We must change how we deal with them," said Vex. "No more looking down on them as a young species. We must treat them as equals, maybe even as superiors in some ways." The other leaders nodded slowly, their faces worried. "The galaxy as we knew it has changed," said an old general from the outer worlds. "For thousands of years, we thought we understood the limits of life. We were wrong. On Earth, General Kang met with the World Council to discuss the next steps. The aliens have found most of our training bases," he told the leaders. "They've even detected our sun observation post." "How have they reacted?" asked Chairwoman Park. "Sora." "With fear and disbelief," said the general. "They're changing their plans. They now see us as a major power, not a weak young species." "Good," said the chairwoman. "That was our goal. Now we can negotiate with them as equals." General Kang looked at his tablet. "They've requested a meeting next week. They want to discuss a new kind of relationship with Earth." "We'll meet them," said the chairwoman, "but we'll keep some secrets. They don't need to know everything yet." "Like Titan?" asked the general. The chairwoman nodded. "Like Titan. And our plans for training beyond our solar system." The room grew quiet as everyone thought about what this meant. Humans had changed. The galaxy's balance of power without firing a single shot. Just by being what they were. Adaptable. 6 months after the first alien visit to Earth, a grand meeting hall had been built in Seoul for a special event. Today, Earth would host the Galactic Council for treaty negotiations. Captain Kim Tae-ho, now promoted to colonel, stood in his new uniform beside General Kang. They watched as the alien ships landed one by one in the large field outside. "Quite different from their first visit," said General Kang. Tae-ho nodded. "No more looking down on us, now they come with respect." The main door opened and the alien delegates walked in. Commander Vex and Admiral Zahn led the group. Their faces were serious, their steps careful. They stopped in front of Tae-ho and General Kang and gave a formal bow, something they had not done before. "Earth welcomes the Galactic Council," said General Kang. "We are pleased to begin our formal talks today." Commander Vex stepped forward. "We thank you for your hospitality. The Galactic Council is eager to establish new relations with Earth." There was no trace of the old arrogance in his voice. The aliens had learned that humans were not what they had first thought. The meeting took place in a large round room with a table in the center. On one side sat the Earth leaders, including General Kang, Colonel Tae-ho, Ambassador Choi Mina, and Dr. Yoon Hee-jin. On the other side sat the alien representatives from 20 different worlds. Commander Vex opened the talks. "We propose an alliance of equals," he stated formally. "Your species has demonstrated unique capabilities that would be valuable to the galactic community. Ambassador Choi nodded. We are interested in an alliance, but first we want to be clear about how Earth will be treated. Of course, said Admiral Zahn. When we first came to Earth, we underestimated your species. We now understand that humans have abilities that no other species in the known galaxy possesses. Dr. Yoon spoke up. You mean our ability to adapt to extreme environments? Yes, said the Admiral. Your people can train and work on worlds that would kill any of our species instantly. This gives you access to resources and locations that no one else can reach. General Kang leaned forward. And you now see the value in having humans as allies rather than enemies. The aliens looked at each other before Commander Vex answered. Yes, we do. While the main talks continued, Colonel Taeho gave Admiral Zahn a tour of Earth's main training facility in the Himalayan mountains. They watched as new recruits climbed steep paths carrying heavy packs. The thin air at high altitude made breathing difficult, but the soldiers moved quickly. This is where your soldiers train? Asked Zahn, watching the humans running up mountain slopes. This? Taeho smiled. This is where our children go for summer camp. Our actual military trains elsewhere. Admiral Zahn looked surprised. Your children train in these mountains? Yes, said Taeho. It helps them grow strong. The thin air, the cold nights, the changing weather, all of it teaches their bodies to adapt. The alien admiral watched a group of young humans no more than 12 years old, climbing a rock wall without any safety gear. They moved easily despite the height and danger. Now I understand, said Zahn quietly. Your whole species is built for survival in ways ours never learned. Back in the meeting room, the treaty talks were going well. Both sides had agreed on most points. Earth would join the Galactic Alliance as a full and equal member, despite being new to space travel. There is one more matter, said Commander Vex. We would like to establish a joint training program. Select soldiers from our worlds would train with humans. Ambassador Choi looked surprised. You want your people to train in our facilities? Even on Venus and Mercury? Not at first, said Vex. We know our biology cannot handle those environments yet, but we want to learn from you. Perhaps over time, with your guidance, some of our species can adapt too. General Kang nodded slowly. We can arrange this, beginning with Earth-based training only. If your soldiers do well, we can consider more advanced programs. The aliens seemed pleased with this answer. The head counselor stood up. We are grateful for Earth's willingness to share knowledge, he said. For thousands of years, the galaxy has been explored and settled by species who could only live in certain environments. Humans change that. You open up new worlds to us, all. What the aliens didn't know was that humanity's adaptability extended beyond physical training. During the 6 months since first contact, human scientists had been studying alien technology. While the galactic species had grown comfortable with their advanced tools, humans had been rapidly learning and improving upon them. Dr. Han Junho led the reverse engineering team. In his lab deep under Seoul, he showed General Kang the latest results. We've improved their ship engine design, said Dr. Han. Our version is 30% more efficient and can withstand higher temperatures. How is this possible? Asked the general. Their technology is thousands of years ahead of ours. Yes, but it stopped improving long ago, explained Dr. Han. They found something that worked and stuck with it. Humans never stop looking for better ways. The general smiled. Like our bodies, our minds always adapt. Exactly, said Dr. Han. And they have no idea how quickly we learn. The treaty signing ceremony was held the next day. All the Galactic Council members and Earth leaders gathered in the Grand Hall. The document was signed, establishing humanity as a full and equal member of the Galactic Council. After the ceremony, Dr. Yoon Hyejin whispered to Ambassador Choi. They still haven't discovered our Titan base. Choi nodded. Some secrets are best kept hidden, at least until the galaxy is ready. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, had lakes of liquid methane and a thick, toxic atmosphere. The temperature was 290 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet deep below its surface, humans had built their most advanced training facility. There, the best soldiers learned to survive in conditions that made Neptune seem pleasant. And beyond Titan, humanity had even bigger plans. Now that they knew about other star systems, they were already designing training programs for worlds around distant suns, places where even the special forces would find it challenging. That evening, Colonel Kim Tae-ho stood on a balcony overlooking Seoul. The city lights spread out below him, and above, the stars shined. Among those stars were thousands of worlds, most of which no alien species could ever visit without heavy protection. But humans could go there. Humans could adapt, survive, and thrive. Admiral Zahn joined him on the balcony. "Your world is beautiful," said the alien. "Now I see why your species is so strong. Earth itself trained you." Tae-ho nodded. "We never thought of it that way, until we met you. To us, adapting is just what humans do." "The galaxy will never be the same," said Zahn. "For better or worse, humans have changed everything." "For better," said Tae-ho with a smile. "We don't want to conquer. We just want to explore, to see every world no matter how extreme." The alien admiral looked up at the stars. "There are places out there that no one has ever visited. Worlds too hot, too cold, too heavy, or too toxic for any known species." "We'll go there," said Tae-ho simply. "That's what humans do." As they stood there looking at the night sky, ships from 20 different worlds orbited Earth. In those ships, alien leaders were sending messages home. The messages all said similar things. "We have met a new species. They call themselves humans. They are different from any species we know. They can live where we cannot. They can go where we cannot. The galaxy has changed forever." And on Earth, General Kang looked at a new set of plans. The title read, "Project Starwalker: Human Training Beyond the Solar System." Humanity's journey to the stars had begun, and the universe would never be the same.